What's going on, everybody? Wilson here, your spiritual hype man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys so much. Hope you're having a great day. And if you're not having a great day, just remember it's all about our thoughts. First of all, it's the influence, then the thoughts, the emotion that comes from those thoughts, and the decisions and the actions you make in those situations. So if you're not happy right now, it's got to be something that you're thinking about. It's got to be something in the past or in the future. Be present. Prompt yourself with some questions that'll get you away from these current thoughts, and I promise you, you can quickly change the way you feel. Today's episode, I'd like to talk about I am here and you are there, right? And this, I think, falls within the relationship scope. And I don't want to just say relationships in terms of your loved one, but I think in a relationship, whether it's best friends, employees, anything like that, where two people or maybe two groups are in a situation, but let's keep it with two people as an example, where someone may have a raised awareness or raised consciousness of here's where I am, right? And they're working together, or they are in a relationship, whether it's, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, employee, it doesn't matter. But let's for the example, go Patty and I, she's my other half. Like, there was a moment where I felt that I had this raised level of awareness or consciousness, and I've had a couple people that I've talked to about very similar situations where we feel like we're here, and there's for some reason still a stagnation of the other person, not yet understanding or seeing the level of awareness to be at that similar level. And sometimes the feeling that comes from that is like, hey, I'm trying to continue to move forward, but I feel like you're bringing me down and you're keeping me weighed down because I have to keep coming back to figure out, like, yo, how do you not get this? How do you not understand that this is what we're doing? This is why you should be happy, or this is why we're moving forward. And you seem to always not understand that or see that vision or have the raised awareness to like understand my point of view, right? And that's ultimately what it is. And so if you've gone through something like that, or you are going through something like that, or you potentially get to a point with someone like that where it's like, I don't know how to feel anymore because, the person doesn't see it that I'm doing X, Y, and Z, that I'm doing this, and that we're going to push this thing forward, but they just keep bringing me down with the negative Nanciness. They keep bringing me down with whatever, fill in the blank. And so what I've learned from it, there's a couple things. One, being in that situation, I actually said it to Pat. I'm like, babe, I'm here and you're here, and I'm trying to go here, and you're keeping me down. So if we want to keep going, moving forward, I need you to get here with me. It's kind of how I said it to Patty. And now it's funny because like now she'll fuck around and joke around, and she'll say it to me sometimes, like when I'm not there with her, or whatever the situation is that calls her where she's like fucking around with me. She's like, Wilson, I'm here and you're not in here, and I'm trying to go here and you're not coming here with me. So get there, So it's a thing that we can laugh about now. But I would say this. I would say if you are in a situation and you believe to be the person that is up here, right, with the raised consciousness or raised awareness, one, you have to understand that you may not totally have the right point of view. Not saying that you're not raised, that you're not there, but there could be something that you may need to speak with a third party just to get maybe a different perspective, right? That's the first thing that I would recommend if you have that ability to do that with a friend, someone that you trust. Maybe just one-on-one, doesn't have to be all three to everybody, but at least get a different perspective to see maybe you are, or how are you saying it? That's the other thing, right? One, perspective. Get perspective. If the perspective is correct and you're like, oh yeah, well, that seems to be logical in terms of what you want to do and what the person keeps doing and bringing you down or whatever. If that's logical, great. Okay, perspective done. The second thing is, how are you saying it? How do you communicate the fact that you're feeling like you're being held down, right? Because episode 17, the cupcake lady, it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. And I think if you come across, and here's where I think why we come across this way, because initially I came across very like maybe abrasive or like, hey, what the fuck? How do you not fucking understand that you got this and you got this and I'm providing X and this, and this, and how are you not happy? Right? Versus like, hey babe, how can I help you facilitate or understand like that there's certain things that I think maybe we can look at it differently. Like there's a different perspective to look at it, because look at everything that you could potentially have happened here, but look at everything that's happening right now. And I would say if we look at it in that way, this is pretty fucking good. And we were going to continue to move this forward and move it, move up or raise up in this direction. And maybe, I'm not saying that it's always going to happen, but I think the way you approach someone to deliver how you feel is also most of the it's like halfway there to get someone to like understand that other perspective and start raising their awareness to meet you where you want, like where you need to be as a duo or as a partner or as a, relationship. Okay. So I wonder if that, I hope that makes sense. And I think, and so one of my buddies I was talking to is very similar, a very similar situation. And I turned to him and I said, listen, even though you are responsible and you are providing, the material, the finances, this and that, and yeah, maybe the understanding, like you should understand, or maybe there should be some sort of awareness around the fact that the other person has that, and the other person has the freedom to, go do something else or leave the house and, whatever, like they have that ability. Even if that ability is there and that's what you're providing, how are you saying that to them so that it doesn't devalue them or it doesn't make them feel less worthy? And two, you have to put the extra effort in. Because if you're the person in the relationship that can see the vision or has a greater awareness of like, this is where we're going, this is what the goal is, this is what we're going to do, and I need you to be supportive so we can get there, then it's your responsibility with with that raised awareness to be able to come back, see them at the level that they're at, and figure out a way to communicate so they understand it, or they can at least get that aha moment for themselves. Now, it may take some time. It's not going to, maybe it won't happen overnight, but I think the effort by the person that has that raised awareness or feels like they're being held down, that effort has to come from that individual to come back to help that other person understand the perspective in certain ways, understand how to communicate amongst each other, and then help raise that other person to that level of awareness so that way the relationship works or they're on a similar wavelength moving forward, right? Because if the person with the raised awareness or the person that's up here and the person that's down here, and they're feeling like you're holding me down and you're not having a good communication within that, it's only going to push the two further away. It's not going to bring them back together. If I'm yelling at you, or if I feel spiteful, or I feel like you're ungrateful, and I turn around and I say it in that manner in like a negative tone, or like just more of like, I don't know what else you gotta fuck. How do you not understand? Da 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 da. Like if you bring that to that other individual that's already at the like pulling the collective down, that's only going to push things further and further away. And that's where the aha perspective of, hey, the person with this level of awareness or where they feel here, it's gonna be on you. Yeah, you may be doing more anyway right now, and you may be providing X, but if you really want the relationship to work and you really want this like middle ground to like decrease even more and more, it's this person right here that needs to be more aware of how they're going to communicate with the other person to help raise them up, that they become, they get to that level together. And that's what I would say is today's aha perspective, because again, I'm sure it happens a lot with, loving relationships and husbands and wives and, boyfriends and girlfriends or whatever, like whatever a loving relationship, like I know it happens within those situations. And I would say if you're going through something like that and you feel like that is you, whether you're the one down here or you're the one up here, like there's gotta be a level of raised awareness that like who is coming down or who is going to go up to meet in the middle, so that way you guys have like an aligned vision moving forward. And it will take time, like with anything, takes time, takes practice, and takes patience. But one, give yourself perspective. If you are going through that, give yourself perspective. Am I the person with raised awareness? Am I asking for too much? How am I saying it? Two, how are you communicated? How are you saying it? What's the tone? What's the vibe? And three, understand that one of these individuals, most likely the person with the raised awareness, needs to take the additional effort to come back down and figure out how to communicate to that person so they don't feel less than what they are now, because most likely they're not feeling good. They're not feeling good in their situation. They're either not happy with what they're doing, what they're providing to the family or to the unit or to the relationship. There's something here that's causing them to feel not good that continues to weigh them down or continues to weigh the relationship down. So see that, understand that, and give yourself at least some time to like actively, prospectively see if there's anything that you can be doing better, or if you have to take that additional time to come back down and raise them up, and understand it's going to take time and patience, and then value what's more valuable to you, right? Because in some relationships, well, it's like, you know what, I've had enough, like done, like I don't want to be part of this relationship. But in certain situations, maybe you don't want to be done because that's your other half, or you have kids with that person. So like, what are you valuing? You may be bothered because a person doesn't see it yet, but like, if you don't take the additional time and only keep pushing it away, something's going to fucking break. And all of a sudden, would you rather have that and not being able to have another half with the kids that you made, and like now life turns to shit and everything that you had before you don't have? Like, what are you valuing and what's most important? And then if you have to put in the extra effort, put the extra effort in, right? That's the thought there. If there's a situation that you feel like that, where you feel like either you are up there and someone's weighing you down, and vice versa, like, give yourself perspective. How are you communicating it? And then 3, just know that like it's on it's on one person out of the relationship to do the extra effort to come back down and help lift that person up. And it's going to take time. It's going to take patience. It's going to take practice, but value why it's worth it. Just value why it's worth it, and keep that conscious over the superficial. I'm like, I'm annoyed that I have to keep saying it. Just, value what's most important in the relationship. And if it's you and you have to go fucking take that additional time and you have to go back to lift them up, go back and lift them up, because it'll be worth it. All right, homies, I appreciate you guys so much. I just want to say I love you. That was a great one. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to connect with us somehow. You can go on to our YouTube or ncyd.com. Check that out. And we're going to keep growing this thing. Please, 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 if you haven't listened to another episode, go ahead and listen to another one. Share your favorite. Anything that resonates with you, please share it with somebody that may be in need of it. All right? That's it. Have a great week. Keep crushing it. Weekend, evening, night, morning. And don't forget, nothing changes until you do. Peace.